home. Yeah. How many of you guys want to extend the convention for 3 or 4 more days, for real? Dude, if you guys just knew what I just saw backstage prepping, let me tell you, you do not want to take $1 million P. Like seriously, stay in your seats, stay focused, because we're going to end the strongest that I've ever seen. Just to make a comment, Angelo, where are you at? Angelo, can you come up here, Angelo? Angelo, get up here. You got to get up here. Wherever you're at, get up here. What Cash just read is by far the craziest event that WFG has ever put together. And the only reason why that happened is because the moment we left last year, Angelo's been working for 364 days to make this event happen. And this man needs a round of applause wherever he's at. Where's he at? And besides that, I'd like to come in and thank everybody in WFG, for our president, Todd, to Susan, everybody in the front row, there's Drew, because all of this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them. So let's please give them a round of applause. I'm going to tell you honestly, the other night I emceed, right? I was not nervous at all because I was able to dance and have fun. I'm the most nervous right now. I haven't gone to the bathroom in 2 days. Why am I telling you that? We're about to go home here in the next 24 hours. Each and every one of you represent your own family. And we're all together here, we're really strong, aren't we? You know that. Because you look left, you look right, you see studs, you see champions, and we're all together. But very, very soon, the next few days, you're gonna be heading home to your defined realities. And you gotta understand, you gotta be able to package everything you've learned. You gotta put it together and have a game plan to win. I've been in this business now for 29 years. I spent 29 years of my life here. This convention's home, this business is home to me. There's no place I'd rather be than here in WFG. But I need you to understand, all the accolades and all the success that I've had, I've accomplished every dream that I wanted to accomplish in this business in the last 29 years. But you have to understand something, I'm gonna take a step back for a second. That wasn't always a deal. I came in here on my when I was 22 years old. And the number 22 was my favorite number growing up as a kid. But when I turned 22, everything that could go wrong, did go wrong in my life. I got kicked out of Cal State Fullerton. I had my house repossessed. I had my car repossessed in front of 2 of my friends. I had my girlfriend at the time dump me. I moved back to my parents, that wasn't funny. I moved back to my parents' house, and then my dad gets diagnosed with cancer. And all I know is dude, there's nothing I was doing was right. And it was crazy. And me and my parents started having a difficult relationship. And so I remember my father reaching out to my godfather named Tony Karungai. Tony Karungai is here, and I'll talk about you in a second, just hold on. He said, I'm having a tough time with my son. He's a good boy. He really is. He's just gone through a tough time through high school, through college. He's just not fitting in a lot of different places. Can you go out there and help him out? He's gonna be good possibly in your business. So my godfather, Tony Karungai, starts to prospect me. He prospects me by calling me. Back then he was paging me. When he paged me, I get to a payphone, I call him back. And he'd go, hey, I want you to come to a meeting. I'd flake. For 3 months, this guy prospected me nonstop. He'd come to my house, I looked through the peephole, nonstop, I'd flake on this guy. He paged me, I called back, he goes, hey Jude, I go, this is not Jude. He goes, yes it is, I go, no it's not. I was in a position where I didn't want to be helped. Does that sound familiar to any of you guys? And so here's all I know. He believed in me so much that this one day changed my entire life. I was so down and out, I was arguing with my parents, I had no money, I was broke, my head was all messed up, and I was at my house, I left my car in the driveway, and all of a sudden I hear a doorbell. And then I looked through the peephole. You guys know where peepholes are? There's no ring cameras back then. And as I'm looking through the peephole, I see Tony Karungai. And if you know my godfather, Filipino, plaid-wearing suit, cool guy, he's ringing the doorbell, knocking, going, Jude, I know you're home. Your mom told me you're home. I see your car in the driveway. He goes, are you there? And for 5 minutes, I'm going, why the hell does this guy keep bugging me? And I realized because, dude, why is this guy bugging me? Why did my dad have him go call me up? For what? What's this deal he's talking about? And all I know is he started to walk towards his car. I started to feel bad because he's my godfather. And as he was walking back, he had his hands in his pocket. He's walking back, and I'm looking to the people going, good, I'm glad you're leaving. And then as he got close to his car, my heart sank for a second and said, this guy actually believes it. If he's gonna turn around before he gets to his car, I'm gonna open the door. So he's obviously walking towards his car, and as he's walking towards his car, what did he do? He turns around like, shit, why'd you have to turn around, right? And so when he turns around, I open the door and I go, hey, what's going on, Uncle Tony? He goes, hey, you're home. I go, yeah. He goes, we got a meeting tonight. I've been inviting you. I go, yeah, I'll be there tonight. He goes, no, I'll wait for you. No, I'll be there. I actually showed up for the very first time that night. It took him 3 months to believe in me. And when he believed in me and I showed up, the rest became history. Here's what I gotta tell you, my first secret to you guys right now. Here's my first secret. Don't push away the people that believe in you. I was up in the rafters yesterday and I heard a guy go, I don't know why I'm in this meeting. All they do is talk about themselves, blah, blah, blah. When he gets off the phone, I put my arm on his shoulder and say, hey man, I don't know you, but whoever invited and brought you here, they thought enough about you that there's something for you. So if you think it's about you and not them, you got your mindset wrong. I saw him a little while ago. He gave me a hug and said, thanks. The speaker yesterday changed his mindset. You're about to go home today. I need you to understand something. There's someone that believed in you enough to get here. Do you understand that? So my first secret is that. Now if you look at this photo, my dad is the one on the far, that one over there. My dad's no longer with us. He passed away 13 years ago, but I carry this cross that's his, and I know he's here with me and with us. He worked through my godfather, Tony Cruz, to get me here. And then I have Merrick, actually one of my team members is still here in the business here. Another is Sheila. There was a #1 personal producer in the company for 4 years, no longer here. He quit, I'll talk about that later. And that's my 3-day suit that I wore every BPM for 3 years. Now, if you look at the date, 9/19/95, that's exactly 2 months after I met this man named Rich Dolly over here, that put his arm on my shoulder when he came to the Anaheim office and said, son, I believe in you. And I'm like, I don't even know this guy, and he's believing in me. And here's what I need you to understand. You know what the toughest thing about WFG is for real? Is to get the word no. I'm looking at Paxton, he was presenting yesterday, he's a police officer. You know what the worst thing that could happen to Paxton? He can get shot in his job. Would you agree? But in WFG, what's the worst thing that happens to you? It's a no, isn't it? Like a no, that's all you get. Look to the person to your left and say no. Look at the one on the right, say no. How bad was that? Here's the deal. It's what's attached to the no that matters. See, the first secret is to not push people away. But the second secret is, you gotta get the gift that was given to you, and you gotta pass it to somebody else. So you could be in WFG for a day, a week, 10 years, 20 years, and you go, I can't recruit, I can't build. It's not that you can't recruit, you can't build. You're just not believing in anybody. I took the belief that was given to me, and guess what I did? I passed it on to this break dancer named John Cordero. That's John Cordero right there. Now, you look at John Cordero, I go, cuz, man, I believe in you. You can't break dance forever. Come on, cuz, you can do this. It took me 5-6 trips to San Francisco. This guy's a salesman. He gave me all these rejections. Here's where I learned about the word no. I don't take no for an answer. You know what I also learned? No also means not now. Do you understand that? Timing is everything. And it was kind of funny because all of a sudden after 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, John actually calls me up and says, hey guys, is it your company called da-da-da-da? I'm like, yeah. There's this guy at my fiance or girlfriend's house at the time that's prospecting her. Can you fly up here? I'm like, sure. I flew up there that same day and I recruited John after a 12.5-hour hiring interview. Now all I know is this, the power of this business happens twofold. People believe in you, and then you believe in other people. Through that, we are attached, and that's how we win as one. Now, if I could for a quick second, talk about my upline. Tony Karuna, can you please stand up? Where are you at? Now, here's why I'm telling you this. Listen up. Tony Karuna, hey, listen. He was 57 years old when he recruited me. He's currently right now 85 based on his one ID. The other IDs say he's 90, the other one said he's 70, but the American ID says 85. But kidding aside, he's never spoken on stage. He hasn't been across stage, he said, in 20 years when it was a company before. He comes here every convention. Every Tuesday and Friday at 3:45, he calls me. You know why? It's called direct deposit. That's what he calls me about. You know what he also does? He only calls me when I'm sick. He's like, June, I heard you're sick. When do you go back to work? right? But kidding aside, if he didn't believe in me 29 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. And what about Crusader Nation? Would you guys be here? So here's what I know. We are all attached somehow, some way. Our lineage goes upline, downline, sideline. Like Cash is my little brother. You understand that? Ted Mag is my little brother, right? We're all intertwined somehow, some way if you really care. But I need you to understand something. You think about a guy like Tony Karungai, there are so many people that recruited people like a Penny Oy's upline, even Swanwin's upline. People are no longer here because you know why? They quit. You see this other shorter Filipino on the left side of me? You know who he should be overriding? Jonathan Marion, Jack Akopikya, and every other Armenian that's here. But you know what? Listen, you know why I'm here? Because you listen to all these dumb candy companies. You know, I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of actually upset. When all these candy companies came out the last 15, 20, 25 years, nobody dares to call me. Seriously, like I'm recruitable. They're like, whose team you want? Junior Cruz? I'll leave him alone. He ain't gonna leave. Hey, I got 2 seconds, go call him. Don't call him, he ain't gonna go anywhere. You know why? Because I plead WT. I straight up plead WT. Hey, I ain't the biggest, I ain't the best, but I'm here to stay. And what I'm here to tell all of you guys, together we can win this one, but you gotta do one thing. There's someone out there, maybe it's here or back at home, that's waiting for you to believe in him or her, and if you don't pour your heart in him or her, they will not be here. Let's do this one. Thank you guys very much.